I kind of like to call this Hell Week for dirt bikers.
It's such a tough race. The long days, the constant concentration, you know, to get everything right. You leave early morning, you're on your own through the day, then you have to, you know, get ready for the next day, and the next day, and the next day. It's brutal.
It's a long game of chess where you have to play it smart. You got to make the right moves.
Over there.
It's the most difficult terrain you can navigate.
There's fast, there's slow, there's crazy hills, crazy downhills. So you have to be ready for everything.
I'm feeling exhausted, like the most exhausted I've ever been in my life.
Ask about the world's toughest hard enduro rally, and the reply will always be Red Bull Romaniacs. As much an experiment in masochism as a feat of skill and endurance, Romaniacs pits riders against 4 days of the most brutal off-road racing on offer anywhere on Earth. Amongst the pack in 2019 is 6-time Super Enduro World Champion and Red Bull Hare Scramble legend Taddy Błażusiak. Taddy's success at Erzberg needs no explanation, but incredibly, the king of the Iron Giant has never finished a single edition of Red Bull Romaniacs.
I've done Romaniacs only 3 times in my career, you know. I've been mostly focused on Super Enduro and Endurocross in the States. I'm not a super specialist when it comes to extreme races, you know. I won Erzberg 5 times, but that was, you know, I was only doing Erzberg and focusing really on the indoor races, you know, that was my thing. Romaniacs is one of them special events, I would say, you know. I have a okay relationship with it, you know. I had a few like good days and a few bad days, and counting on Romaniacs to be a good one this year.
Joining Taddy in the elite gold class is American privateer Keith Curtis. As a Red Bull Hare Scramble finisher and top 10 rider at Romaniacs 2016, Keith is no stranger to success in hard enduro. But it's in a completely different sport that he's really made his mark. Keith is the world's greatest snowmobile hill climb racer, riding supercharged sleds up a near vertical slalom course, earning 5 world championship titles in the process.
A good way to compare snowmobile hill climb racing with hard enduro on dirt bikes, there just actually isn't a way. They're a 400-pound machine versus a 200-pound machine, and they're a lot bigger and bulkier. So I get used to throwing a snowmobile around. I hop on a dirt bike, and I'm like, man, this thing feels like a toy. My goals for Romaniacs 2019 is a top 10 finish. Looking at the top 10 guys, all factory, it's a little intimidating, but I ride mountains all the time. It's kind of where I shine, is reading terrain and that long endurance environment. Being here at Romaniacs is just another stepping stone to becoming a better dirt biker, but to also cross-training and becoming a better snowmobile athlete.
Day 1 Prologue at Red Bull Romaniacs, it's more of a show for the public, you know, for the fans. There is like a little bonus, you know, time for the first 3 guys, but it's not really important in the race. So try not to crash, try to, you know, get through it healthy, and the race really starts tomorrow.
Proving why he's the most decorated super enduro rider of all time, Taddy takes the whole shot and dominates the prologue from start to finish.
Yeah, you know, it's always cool to win, you know. It's like I said before, it's not that important, but if you do get a good start, it's always good for strategy because you get to choose your start position for the next day. So, you know, I had a good start, and I was like, I'll push and see where we're at. And I had a good gap on the second guy, and I thought, like, all right, I'll just, you know, just go for it. So happy with the win. You know, it's, you know, we're here to win races, even though it's just a prologue, but a win is a win, and I love it.
Whilst Taddy can savour his early victory, Keith hasn't had the start he was hoping for.
My absolute worst performance ever Went to try to pass people in the very beginning over the rocks and tires and got stuck in a hole, went over the bars. I wrecked one other time and just a rough go for sure. I'm over the Prologue and I'm ready to focus on the off-road days. Day one, getting a later start than I wanted, but you know, I think I'm feeling confident and we're getting into the mountains, which is where I like to ride, and ready to go. So Romaniacs was kind of a last-minute decision, planned it about a month ago. My wife and I got married and we thought about the Hard Enduro honeymoon. It was a really easy sell to come over. She was actually talking me into it. I was like, you sure you want to go? Okay, let's go.
He loves traveling, so if he can travel and dirt bike or travel and snowmobile, he's all over it. But we're here for our honeymoon. That's why he really came. Been waiting to come to this for so long. Ever since he did it in 16, I've been wanting to come, so we're excited to be here. It's a fun way to celebrate.
Further up the mountain, Taddy is in need of his own support. He's torn the fuel line on his bike, forcing him to stop and repair the damaged hose. The bike is losing fuel, but even worse, Taddy is losing time.
Yeah, you know, it's a bummer because, you know, I had a really good day, to be honest. You know, the fuel hose just broke and took me forever, you know. I had to stop, you know, take the tools out, take it off. I had no parts. Paul Tares actually helped me, giving me some parts on the, you know.
Tío, corre tú, pero dale un poco más, marcha más, tío, más.
It's crazy. It's a bummer, you know, because I had a really good day. I felt good. The bike was amazing, and well, let's see if this is gonna work. I don't think we will. But hey, it's not over. I'm gonna give it everything I have for sure.
Romaniacs kind of requires more than just one person. It's definitely a team effort. I would say coming here alone would be very difficult. Being that I'm not a full factory rider, I don't have everyone helping out. I got my amazing wife and friend Kevin, and they really help out in a lot of ways.
So we try to get to the hardest, most difficult locations during the race, and that's obviously where a rider might need some extra help. The bikes themselves have grab straps that are fixed to the front and rear of the bike so that the spectators can clip a rope in, or they can grab a hold up to stop a bike from it falling off the hill. You know, you obviously have to keep yourself safe out there too, because you stick a finger in the chain or something like that, it can get really ugly really quick.
By the end of day two, Taddy has made back some of the time lost the previous day, but not as much as he'd like, after succumbing to a common problem at Romaniacs.
Now I've made a few mistakes, navigation mistakes. They cost me quite a few minutes. You know, it's really easy to like get confused with all the different courses. You know, like the different classes. I was still on track, but someone else's track. And then, you know, I figured out that I was there like a minute later, so it's like a minute there, a minute to come back. And, you know, when we're racing, you know, we're racing for seconds.
As a hard enduro rally, Red Bull Romaniacs requires riders to use GPS to navigate them safely across 500 kilometres of wilderness. Aside from the occasional track marker, the GPS is each rider's lifeline to stay on course and stay in the race.
The GPS thing here at Romaniacs is a unique thing. It's the only race that it happens. It kind of reminds you that you're on your own, you know, like you're far away from the paddock, and you better be careful and you better think what you're doing.
It's really important to keep glancing down and make sure you're heading in the right track, because if you get lost, you can get in a real load of trouble and lose a lot of time.
You got to think over the course of 6-7 hours, if you're just making a few, you know, errors, just missing a turning, losing 10 or 15 seconds can be a massive difference at the end of the day.
For sure, the track managers are doing quite a good job with the marking, but at the end, like if it's foggy on top of the mountains or if there's only high grass, like you can't really see the marking, so you literally have to follow the GPS, and it's easy to lose the race with the navigation, yes.
I don't struggle with it, but I know I'm definitely not the best at it. Every year I always say I'm going to practice more before the race, and we arrive here and I haven't even used it since last year. But by the time you finished, you're pretty good with it, but it's too late.
I really enjoy using the GPS. I actually get along quite well with it. When you're just flying and you one with the GPS and just riding real good, it's real cool.
Deep in the mountains, Keith discovers he too is no exception to navigation problems at Romaniacs.
I think it's that way. Oh, maybe up there? I think maybe here. It shows we're off course though. We're off course. Course shows we need to go that way.
Maybe we can go down here?
Maybe.
Overall went pretty well today. I got lost a couple times. I kept going up the hill and under some trees, and then I got to the end point where everyone turned around like, ah, crap. It's so physically demanding. After yesterday, I got a massage, and after the massage I had these chills, and I had a hard time shaking it off. Felt sick to my stomach. I still feel sick to my stomach. Body's tired, body's aching. There's points where I'm like, man, am I gonna be able to keep going? That's why they call it the hardest enduro race in the world, it really is.
Looking forward to the final day. It's I'm in a quite weird situation in the overall. I'm 10 minutes behind Mario in 4th and 15 ahead of Johnny. So I think I'll just see how it goes, but kind of don't go too hard and not make any mistakes, and then also don't go too slow to don't lose the advantage.
By day 4, only 3 men remain in contention for the 2019 Romaniacs title. Graham Jarvis, Alfredo Gomez and Manny Lettenbichler. After 20 gruelling hours, it's Manny that takes it. His first World Enduro Super Series win. Despite the 20 minutes lost on day 1, Taddy has clawed his way back to secure 4th overall. The best result he could hope for given the faultless pace of the top 3.
Yeah, I had a good day going, to be honest. It's tough to be up front, and open the track, me and Manny, and I felt like I was going good. We came in the service with Graham, and maybe I pushed a bit too hard because my tire gave up. It ended like, you guys go and check it out. So maybe I was going a little bit too hard, and I wore down the tire. Anyway, a good week. We win at the Prologue. Bummer for the day 1, but overall it's okay. Losing so much time and still ending up 4th, I think it's a good result.
Disappointingly for Keith, he's unable to realise his top 10 ambitions, settling for 18th place after a hard day in the mountains.
I'm feeling exhausted, like the most exhausted I've ever been in my life, for sure. I was riding like a grandma the last half of the day. And I mean, with the mud and the rain and just all the gnarly gold sections, it was on another level today. I was on the same hill for an hour.
Got it, man. Tired?
Yeah, that sucks. Just let it go.
after that, like between the stress and just being so angry and like couldn't get up it, didn't have any help. It was just, it sucked. I definitely thought about quitting today. It was that rough.
Never again will I do running.
They say what doesn't kill you will make you stronger, but I don't know. I'm taking at least a month off.
He won't be able to stay off. I give it 2 weeks. We might be back here for our first anniversary, 11 months. He'll be good to go.
Yeah, the Hard Enduro honeymoon has been it's been a real hit. It's been real enjoyable for her, not so enjoyable for me. All good. Like I said, what doesn't kill you will make you stronger.
Next time on WESS Diaries, Nathan Watson is back on British soil as he takes on the original Fast Eddie at Hawkstone Park.